Welcome back to Inherited Dawn, a One Piece podcast.
Today we are discussing chapter 1179.
And I don't even know what to say. Robin, are you okay? Because I am not okay. We saw them. We finally saw them.
We did. After all this time, the shadow on the throne has a face and a name.
A face, a name, and a power that just blew the roof off the entire world. I am losing my mind. This is one of the biggest chapters of all time. If you want to be right here with us for every single one of these world-shattering reveals as they happen, you should probably follow the show. You don't want to be the one person who misses the stuff.
Let's start at the beginning. Before the world ended, we were in Mary Joa.
Okay, yeah, let's start there. Let's try to have some structure before my brain melts completely. The 5 elders are completely panicking because their boss, Imu, is about to just leave. They're trying to talk them down like they're a toddler about to have a tantrum, but this toddler can erase islands from existence.
Their entire demeanor has shifted. For centuries, they have been the absolute authority. Now they are subordinates trying to reason with an unpredictable superior. They are afraid.
And just as they're panicking, Figureland Garling walks in, looking super stylish as always, and essentially calls all 5 of them arrogant fools.
He does. He is completely unimpressed by their status. He points out the fundamental flaw in their thinking. You thought the Holy Land was secure?
He really does. He's like, are you kidding me? I love this guy. He's just pure, unfiltered menace and pragmatism. He's not caught up in the god complex of the other celestial dragons. He's a warrior. He sees the board for what it is.
He admits the Revolutionary Army's starvation tactic is working. That's a huge admission from the top. It's not just pirate activity they're worried about. It's a systemic internal rot. The foundation is crumbling. They are genuinely feeling the pressure.
Yeah, the celestial dragons are hungry. They're running out of whatever fancy food they eat. And then, as if on cue, who calls? York, complaining about the lack of gourmet ingredients and fine wine. The timing is just, chef's kiss. It's perfect satire.
The ultimate symbol of their gluttony and detachment from reality calls at the very moment their system is failing due to that same gluttony. Garling is not having it. He just tells her to shut up and hurry up and finish reproducing the mother flame.
So it's confirmed. She's in a lab in Mary Joa working on a second one. That is absolutely terrifying. A second Lulusia killer is in production. How many more islands are they planning to just delete? And how is she doing it so fast? Is it easier to build a second one once you have the blueprint?
It seems so. Vegapunk's genius is being twisted into a production line for weapons of mass destruction. And Garling's line to her, take responsibility for the actions of your main body, Vegapunk. It's so chilling. He's forcing a part of Vegapunk to build the weapon that will erase his true legacy of knowledge and progress.
It's the ultimate insult, making his own brain build the gun that will shoot his dreams in the head. And Garling just drops it, the real reason for all of their problems. Ever since Nika showed up, it's been one disaster after another. They are directly blaming Luffy, the sun god, for the world falling apart around them.
It's the classic tyrant mindset. The problem isn't that their control is unjust, brittle, and built on lies. The problem is that this symbol of freedom is making people realize they don't have to be controlled. Nika isn't breaking their world. He's just revealing how broken it already was.
So then, the elders try to talk Imu out of it one last time. Please send an admiral, they beg. And Nuzushiro is like, we can't spare one. Wait, what? Hold on, they can't spare an admiral? What in the world is happening that they're so stretched thin?
That's a very important question, a critical one. We know Kizaru is down at Elbaph, but where are Green Bull and Fujitora? What other fire is burning that requires the attention of 2 of the world government's strongest fighters right now?
Is it the Revolutionary Army making a bigger move somewhere? Is Blackbeard attacking a Buster Call fleet? Did Shanks decide to go and have a chat with them at Mary Joa again? The world is in absolute chaos right now, and we're only seeing one corner of it.
Whatever it is, it's significant enough that the 5 elders who are on Elbaph themselves feel they can't recall them. It suggests a multi-front war is already underway.
And Imu finally speaks, or thinks. We get those text boxes, but they say the elders have to cast away their arrogance, their sloth, and their pride. They're scolding the 5 elders.
And then the thoughts. That sequence was incredible. It's a montage of failure, a highlight reel of every mistake the world government has made, from Imu's perspective, that has led to this moment of crisis.
It was a history of the world in like 5 key moments. First up, Rox D. Zebek on God Valley promising to return. What does that mean? Is it like a curse, or is it the will of D incarnate promising that someone with his ambition will come back?
Given what we know about inherited will, the latter seems more likely. He wasn't just a pirate. He was a taboo, someone who aimed for the throne of the world. For him to promise a return is a direct threat to Imu's eternal reign. And who has his old ship? Blackbeard.
Exactly. And then the next panel, Roger's execution. They show him smiling, kicking off the Great Pirate Era. From Imu's perspective, that was a catastrophic mistake. They thought they were ending the pirate threat, but instead they turned one man's treasure into the world's dream.
They martyred him. They gave his will a voice that would echo for decades. The third mistake, Shanks stealing the Gomu Gomu no Mi from a government ship.
The fruit that turned out to be the Nika fruit, the one they've been trying to get their hands on for 800 years. Who's Who said it was a huge failure, and now we see it from the very top. That single event, Shanks taking that fruit, led directly to Luffy. It was a nexus point in history.
The fourth panel, Shirahoshi's birth, the re-emergence of the ancient weapon Poseidon, another force of nature that Imu cannot control, a power from the Void Century made manifest in the present day.
It's like all of their worst nightmares from 800 years ago are coming back to life one by one. Poseidon, the Nika fruit. Then there's the knowledge of Loki's devil fruit, which is still a huge mystery. Why is just the knowledge of it a mistake? What can this thing do that has the king of the world so concerned?
It must be something that fundamentally threatens their power structure. Perhaps something related to prophecy, fate, or even rewriting history. The fact that it's tied to the Prince of Elbaph, a kingdom they've never been able to conquer, makes it even more potent.
And then the final 2 mistakes, the current ones. Monkey D. Luffy and Marshall D. Teach. The Sun God and whatever Blackbeard is. The 2 biggest D carriers threatening the world right now. The bright, shining freedom and the dark, all-consuming ambition.
It shows what Imu considers the pivotal turning points that have unraveled their perfect order. And then they say it, a line that changes everything. Why do Joy Boy and Davy Jones continue to make me suffer?
Davy Jones? What? Who is Davy Jones? Is that Rox? Is that Blackbeard's ancestor? Is it the original D? My brain just short-circuited. I was not ready for another legendary name to be dropped right now.
The name is historically tied to the Devil of the Sea in our world's pirate lore. Davy Jones' locker, the bottom of the ocean where drowned sailors' souls go. It's a legend, a personification of the terrors of the deep. And now it's a name in One Piece, a name Imu puts on the exact same level as Joy Boy.
So if Joy Boy is the hero of the surface, the sun, the land, is Davy Jones the hero of the sea, the darkness? Are they 2 sides of the same coin? And why do they both make Imu suffer? Was Davy Jones another enemy from the Void Century? This is a whole new dimension to the ancient war.
It has to be a primordial conflict between the sun, the sea, and the sovereign who rules from the land. And Imu sees echoes of both Joy Boy and this Davy Jones in the current era. It's not just Luffy they fear.
And then, after all that world-ending lore, they say all they want is Vivi. Oh my god, man, it's still about Vivi. After all this planetary-level thinking, it comes down to one person. It's so creepy and so obsessive.
It frames this entire planetary conflict as something deeply personal. That's what makes Imu so terrifying. It's not just about abstract control or power. It's about a specific, tangible want. A want that has persisted for centuries. It all goes back to Nefertari Lily.
And they're going to Elbaph themselves to get her. They create this abyss to travel, this swirling vortex of blackness. And the elders can't do anything. Garling just says, we can't stop them. The power level is just, it's off the charts. He's not even asking for permission. He's just telling them what's happening.
It establishes Imu as being on a completely different tier from even the five elders, who we now know are monstrous fighters themselves. They are gods, but Imu is the god of gods.
Okay, so from the peak of the world, we cut back down to Elbaph, where the cleanup is happening. And it is gnarly.
It is. We see the aftermath of the battles. Gerd, one of the giantesses, is showing Hadradin the body of Sommers, the guy with the steel heart.
Yeah, he's cut in half, but the two halves are crawling towards each other on the ground, trying to pull themselves back together. That's so creepy. It's like a zombie movie. What kind of devil fruit does that? Is it a regeneration thing?
It appears to be, but it also implies a weakness, a core that must be destroyed. We see Goldberg holding the core, which is literally a heart made of steel, and Zoro is there.
That's our Zoro. He just walks up, looks at the squirming body parts, looks at the heart, and asks the most Zoro question ever. If I destroy that heart, will he die for good? Always looking for the most direct solution. I love that. The disembodied head of Sommers looks terrified when he hears it.
It's a perfect character moment. While others are horrified or confused, Zoro is simply identifying the problem and seeking the most efficient way to solve it.
Meanwhile, over at the Owl Library, we get a quick check-in. We see Franky looking after Usopp and Brook, who are still out cold. Man, they took a beating. They really put their lives on the line. And Jinbei is off looking for Chopper. I hope our little doctor is okay. He was caught up in that huge explosion.
And then there's Sanji.
Sanji. Oh man, this was so cool. He's got the other Holy Knight Killingham tied up in pieces and hanging from a tree like some kind of weird fruit. This is cold-blooded. I love it. This is the black-leg Sanji we saw at any lobby, the guy who is scary when he needs to be.
Sanji is furious. He tells Killingham he'll remember his name because of what he did to Usopp and Brook. Killingham, in his arrogance, demands to know Sanji's name.
And Sanji just goes, I forgot. That's such a Sanji line. The ultimate disrespect. He doesn't even grant him the courtesy of knowing who beat him. That's my guy.
It's the perfect mix of white-hot rage and casual dismissal. Sanji isn't just defeating him, he's erasing him. But there's one other patient in the area, Gunko, the giant girl.
She's still frozen solid in that ice from Lilith's weapon, a giant popsicle. But then we see that very specific close-up. The ice is starting to crack.
It is. A small detail, but we know a detail like that is never for no reason. And that's very important, because just a few moments later, we're with Luffy's group.
Yeah, Luffy, Loki, and Ragnir are at the Walrus School trying to get some food. And of course, Lilith's invention, the Insta-Freeze meal gun, froze all the food solid. Classic Vegapunk style over-engineering.
Loki complains that it tastes bad, but they all eat it anyway. They're starving after the battle. It's a light-hearted moment before the storm.
And Luffy, even in his withered old man state from Gear 5, his first thought is to get food to Usopp and Brook. That is our captain. He's barely standing, looking like a raisin, and he's worried about his crew.
Loki even calls him out on it, telling him to recover first. But that's just not how Luffy works. He never has. His crew's well-being is always his top priority, even over his own.
Never has been, never will be. Then Luffy asks about Gunko if she's dead in that ice. He's worried about her too.
And this is the key part. Loki explicitly says she's not dead, but only Ragnir, with his fire abilities, can thaw the ice. He is the only one who can undo it. That is presented as a fact within the story.
Right, so you have Loki, the Prince of Elbaph, saying only Ragnir can do this, but we, the readers, just saw the ice cracking on its own, far away from where Ragnir is.
Something else is happening. An external force is affecting that ice, something that even the Prince of Elbaph doesn't understand or anticipate.
And man, do we find out what it is. Nami, off in the distance, sees something, and then it just happens. No warning.
5 pillars of black, crackling energy erupt from the ground and shoot into the sky above Oursta Castle, the castle of the giants.
It looks exactly like that demonic summoning circle Saturn made when he first appeared, but way, way bigger. It creates this abyss circle in the sky, a swirling vortex of darkness. It's insane. It's like the sky is breaking.
and the energy it gives off is deeply unnatural. It's not just a visual effect. The nearby houses and trees, they come to life. They grow demonic, screaming faces. The very environment is being corrupted.
That's some horror movie stuff right there. The whole island is screaming. What kind of power does that? It's not a devil fruit we've ever seen. It's not just destroying things, it's twisting them into something evil.
It feels more primal, like reality itself is being warped by a malevolent will. It's a power that seems to be the antithesis of life.
Then the sixth pillar slams down right in the middle of the castle, and with it comes this wave of Supreme King Haki.
An absolutely overwhelming wave. It's drawn as this crushing physical force. It knocks out giants and pirates left and right. People are just dropping, foaming at the mouth. This isn't just strong hockey. This is on a scale we've never witnessed.
Not even Shanks arriving at Wano felt this world-ending. That was a warning shot. This is an execution. This is a hockey that feels like it's actively trying to snuff out your soul. It's different. It's terrifying.
And inside the throne room, Imu appears, but the summoning takes a toll. This is a critical detail. They fall to their knees and cough up blood.
Wait, what? They can be hurt? The ultimate being in the world just teleports and it injures them? That's a huge detail. It means they aren't invincible. There's a cost to this power.
It implies this power has a great cost. It's not something they can do lightly. Perhaps it requires a massive amount of life force, or perhaps teleporting across the world is a strain even for them. It's their first sign of weakness.
And then they just start screaming. A raw, animalistic scream. They're transforming, and the sheer force of it, the energy pouring off them, blows the entire roof off the castle. Everyone sees it.
Everyone stops. Zoro, Sanji, the giants. Even Somer's separated body parts stop moving. Even Killingham hanging in the tree looks up in terror. The whole island is in shock, united in a single moment of disbelief.
And there they are, sitting on top of the ruined castle. The silhouette is gone. We see them. We finally see Imu's full form, a tall, slender figure with sharp, otherworldly features.
And we get the full introduction, the full page spread, the final boss of One Piece.
Saint Nerona Imu, one of the first 20, the founder of the world government, the king of the world. It's all there. After 25 years of shadows and whispers, we finally know who they are. My heart was pounding out of my chest.
The name itself, Nerona, it's almost certainly a reference to Emperor Nero of ancient Rome, a figure known for his tyranny, his extravagance, his persecution of his enemies, and famously for fiddling while Rome burned. The parallels are almost too perfect.
A founder of the world government, so they've been alive for over 800 years. That's insane. That confirms the immortality surgery theory, right? It has to be. Someone used the op fruit on them centuries ago. Law's fruit is the reason this monster is still around.
It would seem so. It means the story of the empty throne, the idea that all nations are equal, is the single greatest lie in history. There has always been a king. One of the founders never relinquished power. They simply retreated into the shadows to rule for eternity.
It changes everything we thought we knew about the structure of the world. But there's one more part to the introduction, the final, most important piece of the puzzle, the one that made me jump out of my chair.
I understand the feeling. It's a line that recontextualizes the entire power system of our world.
Wielder of the Akuma no Mi, the devil's fruit. Not a devil fruit, the devil's fruit. Super. I lost it. I completely lost it.
The name itself is the reveal. For the entire series, we called them Akuma no Mi, devil fruits in the plural, but we never considered that there might be a literal, singular devil's fruit, the progenitor, the original.
So is this the first one, the source of all the others? Does this fruit have a name, or is its name literally the devil? What does that even mean? Is it a Zoan model devil? Is it the tree they all grow from?
Think about what this implies. If Imu has the original fruit, the one named the devil, it completely reframes the entire narrative. The world government, the celestial dragons, the people who call devil fruit users devils and hunt them down, are ruled by the literal devil.
The hypocrisy is off the charts. It's the ultimate lie at the heart of their entire system. They've built a religion around themselves as gods, while their true god is the one thing they tell the world to fear and despise. It's perfect.
And what can it do? We saw the summoning, the overwhelming hockey, the warping of the environment into demonic life. Is that all part of its power? Is it a paramecia that controls reality itself? Or a mythical Zoan of a creature so ancient it predates known history?
I have no idea, but it is terrifying. The king of the world is in Elbaph. Right now. Luffy is right there, withered and weak. Vivi is right there, the person they came for. This is it. The final war didn't start with Luffy going to them. It just came to us.
The board has been cleared. The final pieces are in play. Imu has stepped out of the shadows. There is nowhere left to hide.
I need the next chapter right now. I cannot wait a week for this. Oda can't do this to us.
Well, we have to. So let's use the time to make some predictions. What do you think happens in chapter 1180?
Okay, prediction 1. Imu's first move is not to fight everyone. It's a beeline directly for Vivi. They are obsessive. That's their goal. But the giants, Dory and Brogy, will step in front of them, shields raised, and do their signature Hakoku sovereignty attack, creating the first real clash.
A test of the king's power against the legendary warriors of Elbaph. A fitting opening move. I like that.
Prediction 2. We are going to see what the Akuma no Mi actually does. Imu won't just use spooky hockey. They will use a named attack and will finally understand the nature of their power. It's not just going to be tentacles and warping trees. We'll see its offensive capability, and it's going to be something horrifying, like decreating matter or something.
A full demonstration of their abilities. It makes sense. They wouldn't reveal themselves without also revealing their power.
And prediction 3, and this is my wild one, Blackbeard makes a move. Imu was just thinking about him in Davy Jones. It feels like that was putting him on the board for a reason. He won't show up at Elbaph, that's not his style, but we'll cut to him somewhere else, maybe at the end of the chapter. He'll be reacting to this event, saying something like, "Zehahaha, the world is shaking, it's our time." And we'll see he's stealing a road poneglyph or attacking Marie Joie while it's undefended.
Taking advantage of the chaos while the world's attention is on Elbaph. Classic Teach. That's a very strong possibility. Okay, my turn.
Let's hear it. What does the archaeologist think?
Prediction 1. The name Nerona Imu will be spoken by someone in Elbaph who recognizes it from a lost history. It won't just be a name for us on the outside. I believe someone, perhaps one of the giant scholars in the Owl Library, will see Imu, search a forbidden text, and find that name. It will be a name that carries the weight and terror of the Void Century.
Oh, that's good. So it's a known name from the past, like someone reads it and just gasps, "It can't be." That gives it so much more power.
Exactly. Prediction 2. The cracking ice around Gunko is a direct reaction to Imu's power. My theory is that Imu's devil power is fundamentally opposed to Nika's sun god power. Gunko was frozen by an imitation of Vegapunk's technology that used the Seraphim's sun lasers, a synthetic sun. Imu's overwhelming, dark, demonic energy is a natural antidote to it. It's canceling out the sun properties of the ice, causing it to break. It has nothing to do with Ragnir's fire or Gunko's own strength.
No way. So Imu's arrival is accidentally helping them? That's a classic Oda twist. A dark power unintentionally causing a good outcome. I love that theory. That's super clever.
And my final prediction, we will get a flashback panel, just one. When Imu sees Luffy, even in his weakened state, they will see the silhouette of Joy Boy behind him, and this will trigger a memory. We will get a single, stark panel of Imu facing the original Joy Boy during the Void Century, revealing something crucial about their past relationship. Were they friends, rivals, or always mortal enemies?
A flashback to 800 years ago? Man, I hope you're right. Just a glimpse. That would be incredible. This really is it, isn't it? This is the beginning of the end.
It truly is. Everything. The ancient weapons, the will of D, the promises of the past, the dreams of the future. It is all converging on Elbaph. The dawn we've been waiting for is about to break.
And we'll be right here to see it. Join us next time, everyone, for what is sure to be another mind-blowing chapter. This is Inherited Dawn. Super!